The White Lotus, Series 3, Episode 5, titled Full Moon Pie. Now, this episode, I found this episode to be, like, look, did I laugh? Yes. Did it felt a little bit too long? Did it felt like the pieness of this episode felt too long? And felt like, come on, we got 3 episodes left. Let's get the gears really turning. Let's really get the plot moving here. Because at this point, I'm like, where's the conflict? Where's the big, sure, the stuff thing with Chelsea, with her being the caring girlfriend, and wants to know that Wick is okay, Wick is safe, Wick is being responsible, and if he is fronting the killer of his father, that he's not going to do anything stupid. That's conflict. I mean, I get that, but that's kind of been what she's been doing since episode 1. So for me, it's like that's not really anything new. I mean, it's her realizing, he's 50. He's a 50-year-old man. He's not a child. He'll make his own decisions. Fuck him. Pie. Maybe that's the sense. Maybe that's the realization. Maybe. But but for me, I'm just like, at this point, I just want the plot to move forward. I want the plot to have its gears turning. Like, sure, the stuff with the girls and the pieing stuff and the character stuff with Kate, and how Kate feels to be the black sheep of the group. How, everyone's pieing, everyone's having fun, and it feels like she's that one who feels like it's not fun anymore. Or she had fun, but she's ready to go and go back to bed. She's ready to go to sleep. Because she's like, look, I grew out of this. I thought it was fun. I thought the idea of hey, let's act like we're in our 20s. Let's dance with these hunky Russian guys. That'd be fun. But then she slowly realized, it's not that fun anymore. Thought it was, but it isn't. Fun is staying at the White Lotus and being at the pool, at the beach, wherever, and eating the remarkable meals. Yeah, that's probably what fun is for her. Maybe seeing some tourist attractions. That's fun. Not, night clubbing. But of course, she's the one who's in she's the one wearing pajamas. She's the one wearing pajamas while Jacqueline and Laurie are in the pool, with the 3 guys. Which by the way, I have to say this, dude, find something happy in your life. Talk something happy, joyful, funny. Because there's the one Russian guy who's so my mother died when I was 12, and my sister's a bitch, and my auntie mostly physically, emotionally abused me. I'm like, Jesus, dude, just find something joyful. I couldn't help myself. But yeah, this kind of stuff, and hopefully there's some friction there, and hopefully there's also friction with the whole concept of, Jacqueline hooked up with one of the guys, and hopefully we get some conflict. We need conflict with these characters, these 3 girls. We need to see it. And sure, you're building up, and maybe pepper some things here and there. But I'm like, we need to see it. We need to have full-on, yelling match at this point. We need a yelling match between 2 of them or 3 of them. Now, the breaks from the pie aspect of things are decent, good stuff. Like the stuff with Wick bumping into Frank, who is played by Sam Rockwell, because Wick has now officially headed to Bangkok. He bumps into this old friend of his who is now a has gone full Buddhist, and that stuff was great. You know, the whole Frank telling the story of how he became a Buddhist was so weird and funny and strange, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, I was like, Wick, I'm like, no, this makes zero sense, man. This makes zero fucking sense at all. That stuff I liked. The stuff dealing with Piper, Piper, Victoria, Timothy, that I like, and their reaction, the reaction to, Piper telling her parents that, hey, when you guys leave, Thailand, I'm not coming along with you because I'll plan to become a full Buddhist for a year. I'll learn the ways of the Buddhists. And I love the reaction. Like, Timothy, he's having a lot of stuff in his head. He realizing that his whole world has been crushing down. And his world, during this vacation, his whole world is is getting torn apart. So he's thinking other things, then finding out, okay, he's a little bit like, oh, okay. Because he's thinking of other thoughts. But Victoria's reaction to this, I couldn't help but laugh halfway the whole thing. Like, it's out of, like, there's racism, there's bigotry in Victoria's comments, and why Piper shouldn't go full Buddhist for a year or two. I couldn't help but laugh. Like, you're not a Buddhist, honey. You're not from China. I'm like, I couldn't help but laugh. Because I'm like, yeah, like, being born in China disqualifies you for being a Buddhist, like a Christian. And hell, Piper says this. It's like it's like saying a Christian can't be a Christian because they're not from Bethlehem, of Tantai, Expraxia, Jerusalem. Like, it's like Buddhism, they're a cult. They're like Charles Manson. I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't help but laugh at every comment that she made, and thinking that this is meant to be your selling point to not stay for a year. I'm like, Victor, you're disproving the whole thing. You're just disproving your ignorance, because it's not out of hatred. It's out of ignorance. It's out of her not knowing and thinking the stereotypes. I love her. Oh, sorry, I couldn't help but laugh and be like, it's like a cult, like the Catholic Church. I'm like, are you not Christian? You just call your own religion a cult. Like, I couldn't help but laugh over that. To just stay by it, but it's very fun. There's a lot of humor in the whole Victoria trying to have visiting Piper not to stay in Thailand for a year or two. Like, it's funny. It's absolutely, and what it is this Piper trying to find out who she is. She's basically Lisa Simpson at this point. Oh, I know, out of the blue, she's also going to be vegetarian or vegan, one of the two. She's basically Lisa Simpson. Her family's basically one of the Simpsons. Her family is basically what if the Simpsons were witch assholes. That's probably what it is. Because Piper's just Lisa. Her being a Buddhist and the family's not understanding it. I can see Saxon's Bart. I can see Saxon's Bart being like a Saxon. I think I can understand that. Oh, God. Jesus. But anyway, one thing I hope And by the look of things from the next, like, coming next week, you know, the preview for next week, hopefully we get the plot moving. Now we can speculate. Now everything's heading to its conclusion. Now we're going to know who's died and that. So anyway, I just want the plot now moving forward because we only got 3 episodes left, 3 hours left. So hopefully the plot is moving. Anyway, comment below. Let me know your thoughts of this episode.